Well, look at me having a Broadway theater mostly to myself and looking like the Phantom in this lighting. Ugh. Hello, I'm on the set of Leopoldstadt at the Longacre. This is how the end of the night. We're there in between set and not set. Cast will be in soon to start teching, rehearsing again. We've done 7 previews. Tonight will be 8. We're in during the day doing a ton of. Nothing's that funny. A couple of people in the auditorium so far. We're in doing all sorts of, prepping for the show tonight. Plus now we've got our understudies, because remember now, every character in a show should have 2 understudies. And if the show is doing things right and spending the money they're supposed to spend, that means 2 other full sets of costumes for those individuals. So we've been starting on our fittings for those things, which means do the fitting, and that shirt is rigged with snaps. This one has to have a Velcro. That needs to be taken in. That needs suspenders. We need to label that. We need to label that. We need to alter that. We need to alter that. They're going to share the necktie on that. We're switching out the sweater vest on that. He's going to have this instead of that. They'll use the same hat. They're going to borrow the 2 understudies will have their own trench coat, but will be the same as the principal guys. So start putting that together, and it's massive. So I'm happily up here on the deck because the basement right now, it's like Das Boot, but with pins and needles. It's a lot, and we are in the quicksand of it. But boy, as a team, we're going to bang it out, because inevitably, I'm going to knock wood on a piano right now. When eventually an understudy has to go on, I'm not being caught out with my guy doesn't have shirts rigged, my guy doesn't have shoes, I don't know where the hell the hat is. Not me. And we're still not past COVID. There are still theaters that are being plagued by she's out, he's out, they're out, they're out. And we so far, toy, have been very lucky. But at the drop of a hat, that could all shift. I don't know why it looks like I'm in a steam bath today. It's foggy back here. I don't know why. It's like the Phantom again. We're going to get to that. So anyways, that's what we're doing today. So I'm taking a moment up here on the deck. Let's go with the quick change booth. It's enough of this wandering back and forth across the stage while the 3 people in the auditorium watch me. Watch my channel, you should know. Honeys, every time I walk down the street now, I get discovered because of my channel. It's crazy. Yesterday, I'm in Dunkin' getting a cup of coffee. Oh, here's the quick change booth. Isn't it glamorous? Billy by Blue Light. So glamorous in a quick change teeny booth. Let's sit. Let's move these hangers off a chair and have a sit and talk. I was getting my coffee. Oh, that's better lighting. Getting a coffee at my Dunkin', and the person in front of me says, he orders his order. It says, and whatever this rock star is getting. It turns out it's an acquaintance of mine. We don't know each other well, but I knew he was familiar. Dan, how you doing? He's on a different show. Him and his husband watch my YouTube channel, and he bought me a coffee. Thanks. Just for running my mouth, and the caffeine helps me do so. Anyways, so let's talk about Phantom of the Opera. Y'all, Phantom of the Opera is closing after 35 years. Now, I've always said at the end of time, there's going to be cockroaches, styrofoam, and Phantom of the Opera. But nope. So, of course, this is how it went down, if you didn't hear. Last Friday, there was a piece in the New York Post saying, heavily rumored, lots of sources saying, Phantom's going to close this fall or this spring, rumor. And I was like, it's been rumored back and forth forever. Okay, let's see what happens. The cast was having a put-in rehearsal where they're putting another actor into the show. So they're in the show, in the theater, rehearsing that afternoon to put somebody in. They see the Post article. Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Suddenly there's lots of scrambling, and suddenly there's company meeting at 4 o'clock. And at 4 o'clock they were told, we are closing February 18th. That is shitty. That's shitty. Because the way you do this is company meeting at 7:15 before the 8 o'clock show, or at 7, like an hour before curtain. And everybody knows when they have that meeting, honey, it's never we're giving you a raise. It's never we're doing so great that everybody gets a day off. It's never that. And it's a horrible meeting to go through. And I've gone through them so many times, the closing meeting. And people run their mouths about this and that and how the show and how we love it and how we're trying and how the just tell us the date we're closing. Is it 1 week's notice? Is it 2 weeks' notice? Is it 5 months' notice? Phantom's getting 5 months' notice. That's incredible. But just tell us. Then you can run your mouth all night long about how wonderful and how... I was on a show that closed in 3 weeks, and the producer had the balls to stand there and say, but the show will live on in regional theaters. And, oh, really? I just lost my job. Good for the regional theaters. You know what? So anyway, Phantom emergency meeting. Now I'm hearing from people over there that they're claiming, well, the Queen, they're blaming that short thing, that abrupt announcement on the Queen's death. We were going to announce it last week as a big event, press event, and then the Queen died, and that would have stolen their thunder. So we held off, and we were going to say something next week, but then we got scooped by the New York Post, so it's because the Queen died. That is some bullshit. Now, why is Phantom closing after 35 years? Their numbers are not great, but they're not terrible. I don't think that's why. I think on ego alone, Andrew Lloyd Webber and everybody else involved who's made more money than the Vatican on this thing could keep it going. I don't think ego-wise they want to let Lion King live out longer than them. And Lion King has many years to go before they catch up, but it also has no end in sight. Likewise, Wicked. It could also go past them. Who knows in years to come. So I think their hand was forced. Here's the thing. We've probably discussed this. I've discussed this. There is a clause that the theater owners have. If a show falls below its break-even point, it's either 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the established nut on the show. The theater owner has the option to say, you have to go. Whether they have another show that they want to move in or they just want to get rid of your ass, they can do that. It happened to Beetlejuice in the Winter Garden. They were doing beautiful business. But the first 2 weeks after their opening, they were below their nut. 10 months later, we want this theater for the Hugh Jackman Music Man, so you got to go. But we're a huge hit, making millions a week. Yeah, but remember back in January, you got to go. So I think with Phantom, it might be that, because over the last 35 years, there have definitely been times they've been below the nut. After 9/11, probably coming back out of the pandemic. I mean, there have been points along the road where they're certainly not doing the break even. The thing is, remember me talking about over the summer how the air conditioning on the roof broke at Phantom and it was 100 degrees on stage and they did not fix it. They did like tape and hopes, thoughts and prayers are how they fixed it. Putting, air conditioning units in the wings with tubes going down in the wings, so if you stand there, and there in the wing, you're more comfortable. Giving the actors ice vests to wear on stage under their costume. Bullshit stuff. I think it's the kind of stuff that a building that has been in motion for 35 years, they cannot fix a lot of what needs to be fixed without pulling off the road entirely. So you have to stop to do that. So I think before the theater actually falls down, or the chandelier literally falls on the audience, because it could literally do so, they need to stop the show. You gotta go. That's my speculation. The other thing is, if I'm not mistaken, the London production retooled, regrouped, redid, brand new, sparkly. They could stop, fix, downsize. And the other thing is, if you close a show for the minimum of 6 weeks, you can void all contracts. So we can come back, but we've eliminated 3 tracks. We've eliminated 3 actors. We've eliminated this. We've kind of, and you can void all the contracts. Because the other thing is, on a production contract on Broadway, ensemble members, that's a in perpetuity contract, which is why the ballerinas at Phantom, who are supposed to be playing 15-year-olds, are, God bless their hearts, women in their 30s. A lot of them. Bless their hearts. But it takes a lot of money to replace that actor. You'd have to buy them out. Book of Mormon will do that periodically because the Mormon boys are supposed to be 19. So they will on occasion clean house of, I know it's your contract forever, but we're going to spend the money it takes to replace you because you're not 19. That could be part of this story too, that they could regroup, retool, polish, refreshen, redesign, everything, and come right back. I don't know. So no one knows for sure and for positive what's going to happen. Now, the other joke is there's New World Stages here in New York is an off-Broadway space that a lot of shows will downsize and go to New World. After Jersey Boys closed, it downsized and went to New World. Play that goes wrong, we moved the set right out of the Broadway theater with the costumes and right into New World as it is, and it played there. So everyone's laughing that Phantom will just go to New World Stages, which is hilarious when you think of the scale of New World Stages. A joke. The other jokes, what are the other jokes we've been hearing about Phantom? The day after they got the notice, somebody put up one of those memes of the front of the theater with the Halloween Spirit store logo all over it. Hilarious. Somebody also said, on the last performance of Phantom, they should literally drop the chandelier on the audience. Hilarious. Yesterday I saw the notice that Phantom is closing, and somebody posted, good luck getting him out of there, because he's hard to find, the Phantom. That's the whole point of the plot. So there's been a lot of funny shit like that going on. So anyways, that's what's going on at Phantom. Now, I know a lot of people over there, of course, a lot of friends, and in a lot of ways, I'm happy that they're going to move on to other things. And a lot of people have been very comfortable there forever. But I also think there are plenty of people that are kind of like trapped in amber of like, why am I going to walk away from this lucrative, steady job? But it might be good that they do so. I don't know. And there are a lot of people that they should retire at this point. And I do think a lot of people, especially at Wardrobe, are like, oh, now she'll retire. He'll retire. They should retire. Because in a lot of ways, I'm sorry, it's going to be like, you know, a rock when you pick it up and all the bugs under it are like, ah, they don't know what to do because this people, they've been there forever. They don't know other people in this industry. They haven't been connected to other shows. I'm talking crew people. That cast is talented. They'll get other work. But some of those crew people, man, you've been set in your way for so long that I think it's a place that was over the years called the House of Hate on many occasions, of just the sameness. And you know, I've gotten in trouble by running my mouth in a video about what I thought about Phantom being, okay, well, let's go for it. I don't work there anymore and it's closing. Come for me. Murder House, American Horror Story, Season 1. A building full of dead people who don't know they're dead and are doing the same thing every day and can't leave the building. They're lovely people. I don't think any of them are dead people. I'm not saying that they are. I take that back. And come for me if you want to. I'm sick of this shit anyway. People monitoring my social media. Listen, buy me a free coffee and shut up. Or watch somebody else's channel. But anyways, I do think that there are a lot of people like really kind of set in their way there. That it has a stigma around it of like, oh, Phantom. That's kind of around the community thing. That I wonder if people started passing their resumes around to other supervisors. They go, you've been dressing Phantom for 40 years? Oh, I don't know. I wish no one ill over there. They're wonderful people. A lot of them. Some of them are not. Just like anywhere else. No, I'm just babbling because I should be working instead, but I'm doing this. So, okay, bye.